just come home at night and you think you've got your life in order. You think that everything is turning out alright, and then it shakes you like an earthquake. Like an earthquake makes tall buildings come tumbling down. There's something that I found that I never knew I needed, and it shook me like an earthquake. Like an earthquake makes you long for solid ground. I wanted you around, but I knew it'd never happen. You shook me like an earthquake. When you're young, your life seems to go forever. As you get older, you see that there's an end in sight, so you try to do all the things you wanted. You try to be the man you always thought you'd be, and then it shakes you like an earthquake. Like an earthquake makes tall buildings come tumbling down. There's something that I found that I never knew I needed, and it shook me like an earthquake. Like an earthquake makes you long for solid ground. I wanted you around, but I knew it'd never happen. You shook me like an earthquake. Buildings swaying, there's people praying, the glass is breaking, but I'm still thinking about you. 'Cause you shook me like an earthquake. Like an earthquake makes tall buildings come tumbling down. There's something that I found that I never knew I needed, and it shook me like an earthquake. Like an earthquake makes you long for solid ground. I wanted you around, but I knew it'd never happen. You shook me like an earthquake. You shook me like an earthquake. You shook me like an earthquake. When I was young, I went to Sunday school. I got kicked out for being a fool. I never heard a word they said. My heart was cold and my soul was dead. Then I met you on that autumn day. Your eyes of blue took my breath away. When you wrapped your arms around me, my heart was burning and my soul was free. And our love is like a brush fire. It's burning out of control. Spirit is my sunshine. Your body is my soul. Well, I'm out here on this highway, about 1,000 miles from home. Think I'll pull off on the shoulder, back up in this driveway, turn this rig around. perfect man, there's no such thing. But when I gave you this diamond ring, we made one where there once was two. Two hearts burning with a love so true. And our love is like a brush fire, it's burning out of control. Your spirit is my sunshine, your body is my soul. Well, I'm out here on this highway, about 1,000 miles from home. Think I'll pull off on the shoulder, back up in this driveway, turn this rig around. Think I'll pull off on this shoulder, back up in this driveway, and turn this rig back home. Never know who your friends really are until you really need them. You never know what trouble truly is until it truly begins. You never cared for the light of day until the darkness closed in. You look for trouble and you lost your friends. Now just look at this trouble you're in. This trouble's got a way of finding you, and this trouble seems to never end. When you think you're done with it, a new kind of trouble begins. You always take the wrong turn, heading down the road of sin. Trouble's got a way of finding you. Just look at this trouble you're in. Your mother tried to raise you up, she tried as hard as she could. On her own, she never stood a chance, your chance to do any good. Your daddy left before you could walk, he never passed his way again. The only thing he left was a set of footprints leading into this trouble you're in. This trouble's got a way of finding you, and this trouble seems to never end. Just when you think you're done with it, a new kind of trouble begins. You always take the wrong turn, heading down a road of sin. This trouble's got a way of finding you. Just look at this trouble you're in. when I hit the ground. End up like a dog that's been beat too much, till you spend half your life just covering up. Born in the USA, I was born in the USA, I was born in the USA, born in the USA. Got in a little hometown jam, so they put a rifle in my hand, sent me off to a foreign land to go and kill the yellow man. Born in the USA, I was born in the USA, I was born in the USA, born in the USA. Come back home to the refinery, highwayman said, son of it was up to me. Went down to see my VA man, he said, son, don't you understand? Had a brother at Kaysan, fighting off the Viet Cong. They're still here, he's all gone. He had a woman he loved in Saigon, I got a picture of him in her arms now. Down in the shadow of the penitentiary, by the gas fires of the refinery, I'm 10 years burning down the road, nowhere to run and got nowhere to go. Born in the USA, I was born in the USA, born in the USA. I'm a long gone daddy in the USA now. Born in the USA, born in the USA, born in the USA. I'm a long gone rockin' in the USA. Hey y'all, Willie here tonight. I'm your host. I know folks Kathy up there in Fenelon Falls. I think we're getting more fans up in Fenelon Falls now, that's for sure. I really like that. I've never been up Fenelon Falls. Gonna have to come up and visit y'all up there sometime pretty soon. I'm not sure what. I assume there's some falls up there or something up in Fenelon Falls. And what's Fenelon? Is that like kind of like lanolin or something? That cream you put on your skin or something? Fenelon, is that where Fenelon he was a feller or something? I don't know what that's all about, but you should let me know. Willie here with you tonight for our Tuesday Live Salutes America special. And I want to point out, it's not America the band. Somebody said, well, you're going to be playing A Horse with No Name. And I said, Willie, I'm not playing no Horse with No Name song, I'll tell you that. That's for sure. I'm not a Horse with No Name type of fella. Hey, but although I must say, that band America, they did a pretty nice cover. You go on YouTube, there's a nice cover of them doing a nice cover of Muskrat Love in 2008. I kind of like their version better than the Captain and Tennille version. So anyways, we got a great show here tonight. We got, well, I'm here. How can it get any better? We're, getting all excited about the U.S. election. Whoo-wee, that's going to be something down there. I'm glad I'm up here. Let me tell you, up in the shed. Got a new lock for the door of the shed. Teddy went down to the Home Hardware for that. And anyways, you can tell I'm excited. I'm excited to be here. We got Waxxie on here tonight. Everybody loves the Waxxie. He's going to do an American song for us too. And who else we got on? We got Alan Edmunds going to do some music for us. Got a little folk song for us, I think Alan does. And we got Stan McRae with those fantastic pictures of his from on the Canadian side of the St. Lawrence River, I think. And who else we got on? We got Rob's not going to be on the show tonight, other than I'm going to try to get him to play a bluegrass song with me a little later on. So stick around for that. And what else? Who else we got? Am I missing somebody there? Got Waxxie, got Stan McRae, we got Alan Edmunds, and oh geez, I forgot the most important guest of all. We got my buddy PatRicky Bobby is going to check in from South North Carolina. It's going to give us a little update on the U.S. election down there. So, and if you got any questions for me, put them in the comments there. I'll take a look at the comments and try to answer any questions you might have. I know I don't get on the show too much. I'm usually out in the shed, and boy, being in the house here, so nice and warm. Don't say anything, but I'm going to try to convince Rob and Carol if they let me move into the house, maybe sleep in the basement for the winter. Because let me tell you, it's getting cold out in the shed. It's some snow. You got snow there on November 1st. What's that all about? What kind of country is this? But anyways, certainly not a country like America, and we're celebrating America tonight. And I got here John Prine's song called Your Flag Decal Won't Get You Into Heaven Anymore. Well, digesting Reader's Digest in the back of a dirty bookstore. A plastic flag with gum on the back fell out on the floor. Well, I picked it up and I ran outside and I slapped it on my window shield. And if I could see old Betsy Ross, I'd tell her how good I feel. Oh, but your flag decal won't get you into heaven anymore. They're already overcrowded from your dirty little war. But Jesus don't like killing, no matter what the reason's for. And your flag decal won't get you into heaven anymore. Well, I went to the bank this morning and the cashier said to me, if you join the Christmas club, we'll give you 10 of them flags for free. Well, I didn't mess around a bit and I took him up on what he said. I stuck them stickers all over my car and one on my wife's forehead. Oh, but your flag decal won't get you into heaven anymore. They're already overcrowded from your dirty little war. But Jesus don't like killing, no matter what the reason's for. And your flag decal won't get you into heaven anymore. Well, I got my windshield so filled with flags that I couldn't see. So I ran my car upside a curb and right into a tree. By the time they got the doctor down, I was already dead. And I'll never understand why the man standing in the pearly gates said, oh, but your flag decal won't get you into heaven anymore. They're already overcrowded from your dirty little wars. Jesus don't like killing, no matter what the reason's for. And your flag decal won't get you into heaven anymore. Your flag decal won't get you into heaven, although we like our flags down safe. We certainly like the flag. Let's go out to see that fella Alan Edmunds. I think he's got a little American folk song for us. Hey, Alan.
When Rob said this week's theme was a celebration of American music, I immediately thought of folk music. And of course, the quintessential folk musician of all time, Pete Seeger. If I Had a Hammer. If I had a hammer, I'd hammer in the morning, I'd hammer in the evening, all over this land. I'd hammer out danger, I'd hammer out warning, I'd hammer out the love between my brothers and my sisters, all over this land. If I had a bell, I'd ring it in the morning, I'd ring it in the evening, all over this land. and my sisters all over this land. If I had a song, I'd sing it in the morning, I'd sing it in the evening, all over this land. I'd sing out danger, I'd sing out warning, I'd sing out the love between brothers and my sisters all over this land. Ooh, 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 ooh. Well, I've got a hammer and I've got a bell and I've got a song to sing. Listen what I tell. It's a hammer of justice, it's a bell of freedom, it's a song about the love between the brothers and my sisters all over this land. Ooh, ooh, ooh. It's a hammer of justice, it's a bell of freedom, it's a song about the love between the brothers and my sisters all over this land. Ooh. Peace out.
Well, hey, that was fantastic, Alan. Sure use a lot more of that folk music, peace, hippie love stuff now these days, that's for sure. Here's a song request from a fella up in Fenland Falls. I'm beginning to wonder if we have more fans in Fenland Falls than anywhere else. Is there anyone out there not from Fenland Falls tonight, I'm wondering? But maybe I should go live up in Fenland Falls. Wonder if anyone's got a nice heated shed up there. I heard Kathy and Dwight moving up there, so maybe they got some extra room in their place. It's Christmas time in Washington. The Democrats rehearsed, getting into gear for 4 more years, and things not getting worse. The Republicans drink whiskey neat and thank their lucky stars. They said he cannot seek another term, there'll be no more FDRs. Well, I sat home in Tennessee, just staring at the screen, with an uneasy feeling in my chest, and I'm wondering what it means. So come back, Woody Guthrie, come back to us now. Tear your eyes from paradise and rise again somehow. If you run into Jesus, maybe he can help you out. Well, come back, Woody Guthrie, to us now. Followed in your footsteps once back in my traveling days. Somewhere I failed to find your trail, now I'm stumbling through the haze. But there's killers on the highway now, and a man can't get around. So I sold my soul for wheels that roll, now I'm stuck here in this town. So come back, Woody Guthrie, oh, come back to us now. Oh, tear your eyes from paradise and rise again somehow. If you run into Jesus, maybe he can help us out. Come back, Woody Guthrie, to us now. There's foxes in the hen house, cows out in the corn. The unions have been busted, their proud red banners torn. To listen to the radio, you'd think that all was well, but you and me and Cisco know it's going straight to hell. So come back, Emma Goldman, rise up, old Joe Hill. The barricades are going up, they cannot break our will. Well, come back to us, Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. We're marching into Selma as the bells of freedom ring. So come back, Woody Guthrie, oh, come back to us now. Tear your eyes from paradise and rise again somehow. That's a good song. Thanks for that request. Let's head out and see what Stan's got for us out in Eastern Ontario on the Canadian side of the St. Lawrence River. Good evening, everyone. Rob here. Hope everybody's enjoying the show as much as I am. Thanks, Willie, for hosting tonight. Give me a bit of a break, although I do love doing the show. And next week, we're planning a special Tuesday Live Remembers. Remembrance Day is on Wednesday, so make sure you're wearing your poppy. And what we'd like to do is feature stories of and photographs of people who've served in the forces over the years, maybe in World War II or earlier, or maybe some of the other conflicts and peacekeeping missions that we've been involved with. So if you have any friends, family, people in your community who have served in the forces, send in a picture, share their story. You can video yourself or someone else we'd like to really recognize some of the veterans who have allowed us to live in this fantastic country we have of Canada and live freely here. So send them in, look forward to it. Meanwhile, enjoy the rest of the show, and I'll see you next week for Tuesday Live Remembers. Well, that sounds like a good project, don't it? So get your pictures. Get pictures of someone you knew that was in the war or served in the forces somewhere. We're going to honor them all next week. That's going to be a nice show, I think. Thanks for your pictures there, Stan. Fantastic as always. Appreciate those. Hi, Sherry out there. Say hello to everybody out there that's watching tonight. This song I've only played a few times before. It's one of the longest folk songs ever written, I think. And I'm going to send out. I know there's a gal. She's American, but she studied, went to school up here in Canada, and back in the time when this song came out. And when she was going to school here, they called her American Pie. I'm sure because she's so sweet and pretty. But this song's going out to that gal, the American Pie gal. So sing along on the chorus. It's got a great sing-along chorus. And it's a good song. It's going to go for a while here. Long, long time ago, I can still remember how that music used to make me smile. And I know if I had my chance that I could make those people dance, and maybe they'd be happy for a while. But February made me shiver with every paper I deliver. Bad news on the doorstep, I couldn't take one more step. I can't remember if I cried when I read about his widowed bride, but something touched me deep inside the day the music died. Here we go. So bye, Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. The good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye, singing this'll be the day that I die. This'll be the day that I die. Did you write the book of love? Do you have faith in God above? If the Bible tells you so, do you believe in rock and roll? Can music save your mortal soul? And can you teach me how to dance real slow? Well, I know that you're in love with him, 'cause I saw you dancing in the gym. You both kicked off your shoes, man, I dig those rhythm and blues. I was a lonely teenage bronchian buck with a pink carnation and a pickup truck, but I knew that I was out of luck the day the music died. I heard her singing bye, bye, Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. Them good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye, singing this'll be the day that I die. This'll be the day that I die. Now for 10 years we've been on our own, and moss grows fat on a rolling stone, but that's not how it used to be. When the jester sang for the king and queen, the coat he borrowed from James Dean, in a voice that came from you and me. Well, the king was looking down, the jester stole his thorny crown. The courtroom was adjourned, no verdict was returned, and well, Lennon read a book on march. The quartet practiced in the park. We sang dirges in the dark the day the music died. And we were singing bye bye Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. Them good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye, singing this'll be the day that I die. This'll be the day that I die. Oh, helter skelter in a summer swelter, the birds flew off with the fallout shelter, 8 miles high and falling fast. It landed, fell on the grass. The players tried for a forward pass, with the jester on the sidelines in a cast. Now the halftime air was sweet perfume. Sergeants played a marching tune. We got up to dance, but we never got the chance, 'cause the players tried to take the field. The marching band refused to yield. Do you recall what was the feel the day the music died? We were singing bye bye Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. The good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye, singing this'll be the day that I die. This'll be the day that I die. There we were all in one place, a generation lost in space, with no time left to start again. So come on Jack, be nimble, Jack be quick. Jack Flash sat on a candlestick, 'cause fire is the devil's only friend. And as I watched him on the stage, my hands were clenched in fists of rage. No anger born in hell could break that Satan spell. And as the flames climbed high into the night, to the sacrificial rite, I saw Satan laughing with the light the day the music died. He was singing bye bye Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. Them good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye, singing this'll be the day that I die. This'll be the day that I die. I met a girl who sang the blues, and I asked her for some happy news, but she just smiled and turned away. Well, I went down to the sacred store, where I'd heard the music years before, but the man there said the music wouldn't play. But in the streets the children screamed, the lovers cried, and the poets dreamed, but not a word was spoken. The church bells all were broken, and the 3 men I admire most, the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost, they caught the last train for the coast the day the music died. And they were singing bye bye Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. Them good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye, singing this'll be the day that I die. This'll be the day that I die. So bye bye Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. And them good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye, singing this'll be the day that I die. Woo! That was That was a epic song singing there. Anyway, singing that, they say, well, the day the music died. They think that was the day when the Big Bopper and Richie Valens, was it, and Buddy Holly, when those three fellas were killed in that plane crash. And let's go see. Maybe Waxxie's got something to sing about that.
Hello, folks. My name's Waxxie. Welcome to the shack. Buddy Holly, it doesn't matter anymore. There you go, baby. Here am I. How you left me so I could sit and cry. Well, golly gee, what have you done to me? Well, I guess it doesn't matter anymore. Do you remember, baby, last September, how you held me tight each and every night? Well, whoops-a-daisy, how you drove me crazy, and I guess it doesn't matter anymore. There's no use in me, I'm crying, I've done everything, and I'm sick of trying, I've thrown away my nights, wasted all my days over you. Now you don't know me, baby, I don't mind. Now and forever till the end of time, I'll find somebody new, baby. We'll say we're through, and you won't matter anymore. There's no use in me, I'm crying, I've done everything, and I'm sick of trying, I've thrown away my nights, wasted all my days over you. Now you don't know me, baby, I don't mind. Now and forever till the end of time, I'll find somebody new, baby. We'll say we're through, and you won't matter anymore. You won't matter anymore. You won't matter anymore. Bum bum. Woo!
Well, thank you for that, Waxxie. It's fantastic. Was that Mrs. Waxxie singing with you there? I haven't sure seen her on the show before, but real nice job. All of you there. All of you, looked like there were a lot of you there. I think there's just two of you, but anyways, nice job. I got a song here now. It's by one of my favorite songwriters, Eric Church, and it's about one of my favorite drinking buddies, Jack Daniels. Got a reputation going round. I ain't never been the kind to back down. I've thrown a punch or two and given a few black eyes, but Jack Daniels kicked my ass again last night. Yeah, I hung in pretty good for a round or two, but he don't fight fair like Daddy taught me to. Her memory turned my head and then he snuck up from behind. Well, Jack Daniels kicked my ass again last night. I always thought my heart was made of steel and bulletproof, but the memory of her tail lights fading breaks it right in two. I guess every Superman has got his kryptonite. Well, Jack Daniels kicked my ass again last night. Yeah, I didn't bleed and I ain't black and blue, but it ain't hard to tell who got the better of who. 'Cause in the morning light, I'm hard to recognize. Old Jack Daniels kicked my ass again last night. I'd always thought this heart was made of steel and bulletproof, but the memory of her tail lights fading breaks it right in two. I guess every Superman has got his kryptonite. Jack Daniels kicked my ass again last night. That black label's like black powder for my soul. My head's about to blow. Hell, I'm half inclined to give that fuse a light and let Jack Daniels kick my ass again tonight. I always thought this heart was made of steel and bulletproof, but the memory of her tail lights fading breaks it right in two. I guess every Superman has got his kryptonite. And Jack Daniels kicked my ass again last night. Yes, Jack Daniels kicked my ass again last night. Yeah, Jack Daniels. Stay away from that fella. He'll get you in trouble. Speaking of guys get you into trouble and get into the whiskey, is that Robbie O'Spoon fella out in Dublin, Ontario. Let's go check in Robbie O'Spoon. Oh, hello everybody out there in internet land. Robbie O'Spoon here in Dublin, Ontario, having a grand old time swilling the pigs, drinking me Guinness and eating me potatoes. Here's to you, America. Oh, the Irish have been instrumental in building America, but we haven't always been welcome there. Oh no. Back in 1845, the fortunes of the Irish back home started to go bad, starting with our beloved potatoes. Oh, the leaves started to wither and the spuds themselves bled and rotted under the sod. Of course, the British had already bled Ireland dry, so the people were in a terrible way. Back in them days, the average Irish fella ate 14 pounds of potatoes a day. That's right, 14 pounds. Well, I like me potatoes, but I'm not sure I could have eaten 14 pounds in a day. But back then, there was not much else to eat. Everything else was stolen by the quizzling British landlords, leaving the poor British without nothing to eat but potatoes for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. When the potato blight hit, it was a disaster, with nothing to eat. Me countrymen were starving with nothing to eat. Oh my, it must have been a terrible time. The British were no help. Oh no, they wouldn't want to upset the free market forces and provide aid to the Irish. The London News wrote, "Oh, Great Britain cannot continue to throw her hard-won millions into the bottomless pit of Celtic pauperism." Well, the reason we was paupers was the British stole our land and our food. The blight reduced Ireland's population by a half. Over 1 million perished and 2 million left the country, many drawn to the shining beacon of America far across the ocean. Oh yeah. But the lot of the poor Irish was not much improved. Nearly a quarter of the travellers died of disease or starvation sailing to America in what became known as the coffin ships, yes. Well, conspiracy theories are not a new thing in America. Oh no. Many Americans thought the Irish migration of mostly poor and destitute Irish Catholics was a plot by the Vatican to overthrow the American government. Imagine. Establish a new Vatican in Cincinnati and impose Catholic law in the country. Oh, sounds familiar now, doesn't it? Oh. But in 1855, armed anti-Catholic American Party members guarding the polls in Louisville, Kentucky, started street fights with Catholics trying to vote. Then they burned and ransacked their homes, killing somewhere between 20 and 100 people. When Millard Fillmore ran for president under the American Party banner a year later, he blamed his third-place finish on foreign Catholics. Oh, does that sound familiar too?
I could go on and on. The poor Irish immigrants were treated to all sorts of mistreatment and prejudice. You know, the only Catholic president the country has ever had was that fella John F. Kennedy. All of his grandparents was Irish immigrants who arrived after the potato famine. Oh, that's right. Oh, those were terrible times. And history just seems to keep repeating itself over and over again. Only the faces and names and nations change. I hope things are different this year, but I'm not so sure about that. Oh, no. Ah, that's good. Oh, my own Uncle Seamus O'Spoon, he immigrated to the United States not too long ago. He stowed away on a ship that was sailing to America. But what he didn't realise was that it was sailing to South America. Oh, that's O'Spoon's not that good with geography, you know. Oh, so here's my Uncle Seamus, all on his own, an Irish fella all alone in South America. Well, he runs into a caravan of folks headed to the States. What luck for the old fella. So they crosses Mexico and gets to the US border, and me poor Uncle Seamus, he gets caught trying to swim across the Rio Grande without the proper papers. He was never much of a swimmer. Well, my Uncle Seamus, he's a bit of a wee fella, and he's got a thick Irish accent, so the border police, they thinks he's a young child, and he ends up in a cage with a bunch of Mexican kids. That's right. Well, my Uncle Seamus, he's also a wily fella, and he escapes from where they have him caged up, being the good old spoon fella he is. He follows his nose and makes his way to the nearest pig farm. But it's not a pig farm at all. It's a hog ranch. That's right. In Texas, they have them free-ranging hog ranches. So, my Uncle Seamus, he's now a hog boy. It's like a cowboy, but for the hogging. He rides his little pony and wrangles the hogs. He's learned how to rope the hogs. He has to catch them to brand them each spring. At this time of the year, they're riding them ponies across the Texas range, rounding up the hogs and doing the big hog drive to get them to market. Oh, riding all day, sleeping out on the range, the sound of all them little hoggies oinking in your ear all day and all night. Oh, what a life that would be. Oh, the ultimate life. A swilling, I tell you. Oh, well, I hope you enjoyed me story about the Irish in America and me Uncle Seamus, the Texas hog boy. I salute you, America. You've been treating immigrants poorly for years and years, but in spite of all that, we still sneaks in and helps to make your country even greater. Here's to you, America. Sloan. Wow, that Irish fella, he sure got a lot to say, doesn't he? Well, Irish folks come to America. I don't remember that. I don't remember too much. Anyways, he asked me to play this song. I'm not sure if it's an American song, but it's called Breakfast in America, so I guess it's about America. Take a look at my girlfriend. She's the only one I got. She's not much of a girlfriend. Never seem to get a lot. Take a jumbo across the water, like to see America. See the girls in California, hoping it's gonna come true. But there's not a lot I can do. Could we have kippers for breakfast? Mommy dear, they gotta have 'em in Texas. Everyone's a millionaire. I'm a winner, I'm a sinner. Do you want my autograph? I'm a loser, what a joker. I'm playing my jokes upon you. Well, there's nothing better to do. Hey! Ba-da-da-dum, ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-da-dum, ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. La la la, la 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 la. Don't you look at my girlfriend, she's the only one I got. Not much of a girlfriend, I never seem to get a lot. What she got? Not a lot. Take a jumbo across the water, like to see America. See the girls in California, I'm hoping it's gonna come true. But there's not a lot I can do. Hey! Ba-da-da-dum, ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-da-dum, ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Hey, 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 la la la. my good old buddy PatRicky Bobby, my racing buddy, and my driving buddy. Let's go see what PatRicky Bobby got to say from South North Carolina. PatRicky.
How y'all doing? I'm PatRicky Bobby, semi-retired professional driver bootlegger. Now, I know you ain't seen me in quite some time. You see, I've been very busy. I have thrown my hat into politics. That's right. I'm officially a candidate for the position of the President of the United States of America. You see, I first got involved by delivering some of my shine to one of those U.S. primaries events. Turns out it was so much fun, I attended a U.S. secondaries event, which is kind of like an after party to the U.S. primaries. Unfortunately, there weren't no U.S. 30aries. Too bad, because I think that would have been a really good, tremendously great party. Anyways, I quickly realized that there is a large population of voters who are not satisfied with the Republicans or the Democrats. And their leaders don't seem too popular either. Many don't like that orangey feller. And that other one, well, he's as old as the hills and just seems to be full of malarkey. So I have created my own political party called the Repocrats. You see, I took the Repo part from the Republicans and the Crats from the Democrats. That's what you all call a compromise. Now, to break this down a little bit for you, Crats comes from that fancy word aristocrats. Y'all know those rich folk? And we all know where repo comes from, the repo man. So, as your Repocrat president, I will act to repo things from all those rich folks and share with the rest of us all. You know, kind of like that English feller took from the rich and gave to the poor. Unfortunately, it didn't work out too well for him, as now I think all he's famous for is making flour. Anyways, you can see here I got myself a fancy hat with my new campaign logo. Unfortunately, I don't have much of a budget, so feel free to go to your computer and make yourself one of these logos. Now, many doubt I have a chance to win, but the pollsters keep referring to the swing states that will end up choosing the next president. Those states being Florida, Georgia, my home state of North Carolina, and Pennsylvania. Y'all know what those 4 states got in common? They all got NASCAR tracks and dozens or maybe even hundreds of my fans. So you see, I think I'll be able to come right up the middle and win this election. Now, time for a viewer question.
Answer me this, PatRicky.
Hi, it's Dandy Betty Sue. I'm at a disclosure location. I don't want my triple ex-husband finding me. Hey, 62, I got a question for you. I understand you're running for the President of the United States. I was wondering, what is your election platform?
Well, welcome back, Dandy Betty Sue, with another insightful question. Many people have asked me about my election platform before, but Dandy, you are the first one to publicly ask me about my erection platform. Now, this is a question that you will never hear that orangey feller or the malarkey man answer, but I will. You see, my erection plan involves erecting NASCAR flagpoles at every residence in the whole U.S. of A. It will allow folk a safe way to display their support for their favorite NASCAR driver. It's a large part of my Make NASCAR Great Again strategy. Thank you again, Dandy Betty Sue, for your question. Now, I know this is election night, but the polls are still open. So you do what my daddy always told me to do. Vote early and vote often. Shake the baker, buddy.
Well, so PatRicky Bobby, that's an erection platform I can get behind. And in fact, I'm going to sing my favorite NASCAR song for PatRicky Bobby and all the other NASCAR fans out there who might be missing their races because they're not letting so many people in. This one's called Talladega. Great track. I'd like to go race there sometime. It was the summer before the real world started, and the deal was we would get to go if we cleaned it up and got it running. Daddy's old Winnebago with a wing and a prayer down 65. 5 best friends on 4 bald tires. I can still see Billy smiling when we finally made it to Talladega. Boys raised up, whiskey in your glass. Here's to turning up, slowing down in cars that go real fast. We were laughing and living, drinking and wishing, thinking as that checkered flag was waving. Sure would like to stay in Talladega. Like a storm, time rolls on. You can't hit pause like we just did. Most days in life don't stand out, but life's about those days that will, like rockin' rando, getting rowdy, shooting Roman candles at the man in the moon, till the Alabama sun was breaking over Talladega. Boys raised up, whiskey in your glass. Here's to turning up, slowing down in cars that go real fast. We were laughing and living, drinking and wishing, thinking as that checkered flag was waving. Sure would like to stay in Talladega. It's late October. Think of us standing shoulder to shoulder. Like those cars, my thoughts roll over and over and over. In my mind, tonight I'm in Talladega. Boys raised up, whiskey in your glass. Here's to turning up, slowing down in cars that go real fast. We were laughing and living, drinking and wishing, thinking as that checkered flag was waving. Sure would like to stay in Talladega. 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 I like that song. Reminds me of NASCAR racing. I'd like to go racing sometime. I'm going to pick up my mandolin here. I'm going to see if Rob play a song for me. He's said he'd play a song if I got my mandolin out. So I'm going to call. Hey Rob up there, you ready to play a song? Let me see if I can switch this camera so I can pick up Rob's camera too. Hey Rob, let's play this one. Called Guitars, Whiskeys, Guns and Knives. 1, 2, 3, 4. Guitars, whiskey, guns, and knives. 3's a crowd, 1 more's a 5. 4 good ways to wreck your life. It's guitars, whiskeys, guns, and knives. Before I got this Martin box, before I put my guns in hog, every night was on the rocks. Before I got this Martin box,
Guitars, whiskeys, guns, and knives. 3's a crowd, 1 more's a fight. 4 good ways to wreck your life. Guitars, whiskey, guns, and knives. Shot of brown and a glass of ice. Loosen up your fingers nice. Songs that give the girls a thrill. Son, that's the kind that can get you killed. Guitars, whiskey, guns, and knives. 3's a crowd. Songs here just to close things out here. Send a little love out to everybody out there because we're certainly going to need it the next few days. I'm thinking pricky with my friends down in the USA. So anyways, thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good evening. Hope everything goes well. Hope things come out the way you want them to come out in your life and everything else as well. Everybody needs a place to go. And everybody needs a way to know that they're just loved. Why do we hurt the ones we love? Why don't we lift them up instead of putting them down and just love? 'Cause deep inside every one of us, there's something brighter than gold waiting to shine out. Keep it covered up with a layer of clay. We gotta start washing it off someday with just love. Only be here for a very short time to lie in the sun and drink sweet wine and just love. We'll all go by and then be gone. Instead of harsh words and singing sad songs, let's just love. 'Cause deep inside every one of us, there's something brighter than gold waiting to shine out. Keep it covered up with a layer of clay. We gotta start washing it off someday with just love. Just gonna do, and if you join with me, well then we would make two. We need more giving, less taking away. If we start right now, we'll get there someday to just love. You find it in your heart if you look deep enough. You find the only thing that we really need now is just love. Hard to just love in a world full of hate. If we get started now, it won't be too late to just love. 'Cause deep inside every one of us, there's something brighter than gold waiting to shine out. We keep it covered up with a layer of clay. We gotta start washing it off someday with just love. Just love. Just love. Just love. Love all ya. Have a great evening. Let's hope that election turns out all the best for everybody.